1 of the TA2 Muscle Car Series at Sydney Motorsport Park saw reigning champ Ashley Jarvis in the 22 Camaro face a new set of challenges in the battle for the 2019 Performax Cup. Port Macquarie's George Miedeke was already putting pressure on regular race winner Aaron Seton's number 88 Castrol Harris Racing Ford. And although Seton had claimed 3 wins from 4 starts at the Sydney circuit, Miedeke signalled that his new Mustang was now on the race-winning pace. Round 2 moves to Morgan Park Raceway, Queensland. 25 TA2 cars signed on for the round, with the impressive 2-car Kubota Performax team setting the benchmark in presentation and passion.
So Matt McKeldin, the motivation for setting up a 2-car Kubota racing team?
Oh, I think it was just we wanted to have a lot of fun. And the Kubota dealer network loves V8s. I mean, Australians love V8s. We did Super Utes last year. It was a great year, got a lot of coverage. I think that category has a future if it's administered well. But we wanted V8s. And this category is administered well, and it's growing. And I think we saw probably a 3 to 5 year future for this category. And so far the response from everyone's been absolutely amazing. When you look at Nathan Hearn, who's done the Formula Ford thing, you've got the Miedekes, you've got Setons. Those names are incredible in Australian motorsport. They were up here testing last week. So, you know, it's a serious category. But then you've got guys like me who are sort of right in that middling, I'm 45 years of age, so I'm kind of in that middle pack. You've got Mark Crutcher, who's having an absolute ball, Darren Berry, all those guys who are just here to have a great time. And it's a real family field. So I sort of think that for a young driver, again, look at the Setons, look at the Hearns. There's a lot to learn throughout this category. But if you just want to come and have a skid and have a laugh and have a beer after racing, or a barbie, or a pizza at the end of the night, it's a great place to be.
Aaron Seton was a class act in qualifying. He laid down a lap that was over a second quicker than Miedeke's Mustang, with veteran Russell Wright in 3rd. Rookie Drew Ridge was 4th, just ahead of last year's champ Ashley Jarvis in the Camaro. In race 1, Gold Coaster Tim Tritton was the first to taste the dust with a spin at turn 4. And then with a big moment playing catch up a little later coming over the hill at turn 3. The superbly presented Mustang was out for the rest of the weekend, but a testament to how strong these cars are.
No, not a good day at all. Just coming under the bridge, full throttle, turn left. I don't know. Until we have a little look-see. And sideways into the tyre barrier, and then that was it. I'm fine, a little bit sore, a little bit bruised, but yeah, look, I think coming out of that corner, you're doing it 140, 150 Ks. So, yeah, I don't know. It's don't know until we have a look, but I'm okay. I'm okay though.
Seton claims Saturday's races, but the Miedeke Motorsport father and son team were closing the gap.
They're just always the bridesmaid, you know. I've got to figure something out. But no, the car is getting better, and as the races get longer, I think I'm starting to see him come back to me. So I've got some hope for tomorrow, but we're not going to rest on our laurels. We'll keep working on the car, and Dad's car's coming along now really well as well, so he's moving up the grid too.
Of course, it's me giving him advice. But George does like to give me advice in driving, and probably I'm not quite as good as I was, so I'll take that. But I tell him how to set the car up. We had a day Monday, and we got this one going pretty well, but we've probably obviously got a bit more work to do. You know, Glenn Seton's renowned for setting up, and Aaron's a very, very good driver, and so. When we get there, we'll know we'll have done a good job. So, but we're coming.
Sunday morning at Morgan Park dawned warm and sunny. 23 cars rolled out for the 10-lap race, with grid positions determined by the results of Saturday's events. Your high-tech steel frames grid board saw Sendel, Crutcher, Robinson, Formosa, Berry, Richardson around mid-pack. On the green, Seton leapt away with Miedeke and Russell Wright all making it a clean run to the first turn. A tight right-hander that makes it difficult to run too wide before switching back to the left over the hill. Cam Sendel was the big mover in the pack, touching up Hugh McAllister in the number 6 Kubota Ford coming into turn 4. Teammate McKeldin was also under pressure from Brisbane's Michael Kulig in the Camaro. Kulig's car was totally rebuilt around a new frame following a major practice crash at the first round at Sydney Motorsport Park. Robinson and the purple number 10 Dodge won the Tank Slapper of the Day award. Kissing mirrors with Sean Richardson, while teammate Sendel's good run came to an end with a spin over the back of the circuit, which he struggled to recover from. Sendel works out of PBR Distributions, the company that imports, services and repairs the TA2 cars for series owner Peter Robinson. So he's a popular man in pit lane between races when it comes to setting up and getting the best out of these 525 horsepower muscle car monsters. His comeback move on rookie Craig Scatella's Camaro was impressive, but all came undone a lap later when he spun again trying to pass Bill Robinson's superb blue and white Mustang. Former stadium truck racer Sean Richardson was also off the track at turn 1 after a big dive down the inside of Mark Crutch's Dodge Charger. As the laps wound down, the Cooley Camaro McKeldin Mustang battle turned up the intensity a couple of notches when Cooley touched up the rear of the McAllister Motors Prep Mustang and sent it off the road. Sean Richardson, on his way back through the field after his earlier incident, came undone again at turn 1 when Craig Scatella in the Dream Racing Camaro didn't see him and both went off, Scatella clouting the wall hard. Seton's fastest lap of 1:17.06 was still a second faster than anyone else as he came up to lap Warren Wadley's Mustang. It was clear Miedeke in second was struggling for pace. Nathan Hearn was first to pounce, closing on the Mustang over the hill, while Russell Wright, who was third on the road, got caught out wide with the slowing Mustang and had a massive spin. The quick-thinking veteran clutch started the Mustang while rolling forward and went from just third to fifth despite a 360-degree panoramic view from the highest point of the circuit. Seton now had a commanding lead over Nathan Hearn. The former state Formula Ford Series winner was having a sterling run in second, with Jarvis close behind in third, Andrew Miedeke finding good pace in the Dodge for fourth, and that's how they finished. Let's check your high-tech steel frames race results. When we come back, it's the final race for the weekend. Face to the muscle car field this year is Drew Ridge, who started last in race 3 after an alternator failure on Saturday, but finished 9th outright from the back of the grid.
Yeah, it was exciting. Nice to have a bit of racing and battling out there. Didn't get to do much passing yesterday, so it was nice to get out there and make some moves out there. So good. We were happy with the car pace. Brakes were going towards the end, so it's something we can work on and improve for the next one. Chuck some new brake pads in, but overall pretty happy with it. And now try and push on for top 5.
As I sort of know, my car gets better as the tyres get older, and that's finally what I was waiting for. But yeah, got a slow puncture and managed to make it last 3 laps, and it absolutely fell to pieces crossing the line. So managed to nurse it. Came home in 8th. A few points lost there, mate. I'm not too happy about that, but am happy about the fact that we still got it, man. We're up there.
I started racing Lamborghinis and Ferraris in America with Dream Racing USA, and they got me interested in the sports. I then came to Australia, and the closest thing to a Lamborghini out here was George's Fast Track. So I met George Elliott about a year and a half ago, doing the fast track around Australia. I grew to love the sport, the motorsport, met some great people, brought my whole family, and we're having a great time. Kim Jane won the National Championship 3 times. He's won NASCAR 3 or 4 times. George Elliott's won NASCAR 2 or 3 times and the Ute Series once or twice. These guys have got 30, 35, 40 years experience, and I'm learning every day from them at the moment. Listen, we want to build a great brand. Dream Racing Australia is it's a new brand, it's a new business. We got some great sponsors that we brought on board already, and 1 or 2 more coming on board shortly. We want to have the budget so that we can do this thing professionally. It's hard enough doing it as an amateur. It's hard enough doing it without the money or the capital. you got to try to run it as a business as possible to give you the financial stability, then to have really good cars at the quality end of the field sort of thing. And we're a long way from there at the moment, to be honest, mate. But by the end of the year, we'd like to be consistently in the top 10. So that's our aim.
I made a pass on Bill Robinson down the bottom near Siberia, and as I moved back in, I was just literally a split second too quick. I moved back in to get the right line, and I just clipped the front of him, and he spun me. So it was certainly not Bill's fault, and he's come up and apologised. He didn't need to. It was more my doing than his. But at the end of the day, I just shot back out, and he was quite surprised how quick I caught up with him and passed him.
Sean Richardson, from stadium trucks to TA2 muscle cars. What's the difference?
A little bit different, isn't they? Yeah, a lot of difference. Yeah, got to keep this thing on the ground.
How'd you go?
Yeah, okay. We had a few tangles, few people not using the mirrors, but that's the name of the game, I guess. We're all learning this series, but brilliant series. Cars are awesome, easy to work on. So I think we'll get up the fronts pretty soon.
Well, the boys are working on the front now, mate. So roll on, race 4.
Roll on, race 4. Looking forward to it.
And so it's time for race 4. And we check your high-tech steel frames, grid boards, Seton, Hearn, Jarvis, Miedeke, Wright, Cooling, McAllister, Miedeke in there as well, McKeldin, Robinson, Formosa, Berry, Crutcher, 10K, Robinson, Sendall, Wadley, Richardson, Falvey and Scatella as the trees shake at Morgan Park Raceway. Huge field of TA2 head up the hill for the first time. That very tight right-hander. Oh, there's trouble here. 10K. I think Robinson in there as well. So a situation for officials to deal with early. You've got 10K, Richardson, Scatella and Sendall. 10K. Unfortunately, there's a problem with the car. He's lit it up. It's ended up in the tyre bundles very heavily indeed. You just see Richardson rolling by there. And there is not the way to start race 4. Sendall out of the car. You can see hurried repairs to Richardson as all cars head back to the pits. This will be a complete restart for the TA2 Muscle Cars here at Morgan Park Raceway in Queensland. Ooh, someone having a look up the inside. We're on board with Seton. Oh, I love that sound. The left-hander. Very tight racetrack, not much room for error. Ashley Jarvis now. We check on board with the Chevy Camaro. Big, heavy, ferocious cars. So much to love about the TA2s. Aaron Seton, we're on board. His legendary touring car dad, Glenn Seton, very much involved in his son's racing program, as well you'd expect. Nathan Hearn, another multi-generation racer. He's looking at the replay. Seton, this was on the start. Had a bit of a look up the inside, got the car unsettled. The Golf Western Dodge of Nathan Hearn. His dad is a legend of the dirt track world of Speedway. He was known as the Hitman. Stewie Hearn in V8 Dirt Modifieds, where he won several Australian titles. And now his boy Nathan at 16 years of age, driving something a little more akin to what his dad used to race. Seton really putting the pressure on the back of the 29 car. Oh, they squirm under load. Got to be very careful with your tyres here this weekend. The tyres are provided by Hoosier, and it's another motorsport legend in Max Dumsney, through Max Dumsney Motorsport, that provides the racing rubber for this class. I reckon Maxie would be pretty handy in these things. He was an Australian NASCAR champion. Still a turn, but only narrowly. Look further back through the order, the Icon number 3 car. Pretty impressive start for Drew Ridge. New face of the ranks. He's right there with Murray Kent in the number 74. A little bit of runoff room, but not a whole heap. Ridge, who had a pretty disastrous run with alternator issues on the Saturday, is storming up the inside, makes it stick nicely on Kent. What can Murray do about that? He's going to fire it back up the inside to the right-hander. Sights, sounds, and the feel of TA2 Rumble. The opening round at Sydney Motorsport Park was a belter. This one, no different. McKeldin, battling hard, has come out of the Super Utes and beautifully turned out Kubota. Two-car team with Hugh McAllister, whose dad, Ian McAllister, very much a Ford dealer legend in Young, the cherry capital of New South Wales. And Ian, of course, ran V8 Utes for a lot of years. We see Kent under some pressure now. He's got McKeldin right there as well. Looking for the inside pass. Was there contact? I think there was. Hugh McAllister. We'll take a break and come back with more on the other side of this. Welcome back. This is one belter of a race. You're watching the TA2 at Morgan Park, and look at this. Aaron Seton giving teenager Nathan Hearn something to think about. Hard on the anchors. Listen to that sound. Got to love that. You can now see Ashley Jarvis closing in. And how good to have Port Macquarie legend Andrew Meadicke starting to find some good form. A touring car icon, very handy in touring car masters over the years. And wonderful to see him with a two-car operation with son George. Top three, nothing in it. And I say this a lot, listen to this. The throaty rumble, well over 500 horsepower. The TA2s, they brought 25 cars here this weekend. Seton finished 4th in the series last year, but he actually missed the first 2 rounds. And what a mature, composed drive this is for Nathan Hearn. Disappointing that Russell Wright has had to pull off with throttle cable issues. Wow. What a battle. Jarvis sitting there in 3rd. Meadicke has joined in as well. On board with Jarvis. Late in the weekend, tyres have certainly copped a hammering. Very affordable rubber too, around $300 a tyre. And they're very careful with how many new ones you can bring to the table. You're only allowed to use 2 new Hoosier tyres per round, plus a bank of 4 previously marked, and they must be used tyres as well. Still, it's the Gulf Western Oils Dodge just ahead of Aaron Seton. We go on board the defending champ cars, Ashley Jarvis. Have a look at what he sees. Is there room? Jarvis, he thought about it. But where was he going to go? Meadicke is right there. Again for that tight left-hander. They're very good with the brakes here. We go on board. Nathan Hearn out of Lismore in New South Wales, the Northern Rivers. It's a hotbed of motorsport talent. He's starting to work his way through the lap cars. Oh, somebody just fired off the right-hander getting in. What a tremendous battle this is. Warren Wadley in the 888 Mustang loops it. Oh, right in front of the lead group of cars too. Nice job from Woz to get out of harm's way. That could have been very average. Top 5 cars absolutely having at it here. On board with Seton. They weave around. I think that may have been Scatella, the former bookstore owner an entrepreneur, really starting to love his motorsport and hooked up with an Aussie motorsport icon in George Hollywood Elliott. Oh, they get really ragged underneath the Morgan Park Raceway bridge just then. There's 6 of them glued together here. Back on board with Jarvis. You can watch the telemetry up the top left-hand corner. Well, Miedeke having a monster drive. George Miedeke up to that 3rd spot, puts Jarvis back to 4th. And sitting there in 5th is Andrew. How much is he loving this? The right-hander try and keep the momentum up through this part of the course right here. You're watching round 2 of the TA2 Muscle Cars. The 3rd round coming up at the Bend, Tailem Bend in South Australia on the June 22-23 weekend. Mark that down in your diaries. Seton is just relentless. Not sure if it's by design or just coincidence. Reminds me a lot of Dale Earnhardt Jr. with the National Guard number 88. Miedeke closing in. Jarvis is in there as well. One of the Kubota cars has gone in. Just have to check if that's McAllister or McKeldin. Really professional 2-car operation. Look at this. Miedeke, we're watching through Jarvis's windscreen at a cracking battle for the race lead. Miedeke there in the black, white and grey number 35. He's got Jarvis right behind him as well. What about the maturity for this kid out in front? Nathan Hearn. Formula Ford are a far cry from these big monsters. He will get the win in the Challenger. Seton, Miedeke, Jarvis, Miedeke. Cooling, well done. McKeldin is 7th. McAllister 8th. Back to Robinson. What a race that was.
Yeah, no, it was good. We struggled a bit with the car pace all weekend, but you know, we managed to get ourselves in a good enough position to be on the front row for the last start. And it all came down to the start. So if we didn't get Aaron on the start, I knew I was going to be in a bit of trouble trying to get a win. So I made sure I just went into the start as hard as I could, and actually managed to pull it off. So from then on, I didn't even go on the clean side of the track. I was just blocking the whole way, trying to make sure my car was as wide as possible. And turns out, done a half-decent job, and we managed to actually get a win.
He sure did a good job of keeping the car nice and wide. Have a look at all that youth. Here's your Performax TA2 Muscle Cars points. Seton, Hearn, Miedeke, Jarvis, Miedeke, Cooling, McKeldin, McAllister, Kent and Robinson, your top 10.
Yeah, definitely. The weekend's gone really well for us. George is keeping the pressure on all the time, so it's been really good for my driving to have him in the category, and also everyone in the field. It's been a very special class in my development.
Championship-wise for the Performax Cup, see Seton your leader by 22 over George Miedeke, Ashley Jarvis, Andrew Miedeke, Hugh McAllister, Murray Kent back there in the top 5, and it's Drew Ridge who wins the Hypercoil Springs Hard Charger Award after a tremendous performance. How about Coolig? He wins the Willwood Disc Brakes Big Breaker Award for an awesome drive in the 7 car. Don't forget, we head to Tailem Bend in South Australia at the Bend Motorsport Park on June 22nd and 23rd. Check us out at ta2racingaustralia.com or like us on Facebook. We look forward to seeing you next time when the TA2s rock the house.